You're set.
Thank you, everyone, for joining me this evening. It's nighttime for me. Um, I today woke up to a warning from Brew Labs that was actually saying that if anybody had staked into the pool yesterday early evening, then they actually needed to withdraw their funds from that staked pool and add them into a new staking pool that was created. There was a problem with the original staking contract. It was redeployed to a new contract. I personally don't have access to view if anybody's funds are still in that old contract. I can try to check on that later. After I get done with this AMA, I'll talk to Mav about it, see if there's anybody left over there. I don't think there was. I think I was actually one of the last people to withdraw. But the new staking pool, the farming pool, is open and operational. So if you need to move your funds from the old one to the new one, those instructions are pinned in the Discord, in the Telegram, and in the Brew Labs Telegram as well. Again, I don't think there's anybody left that's affected by it. So that was number one issue. It did get fixed. Later in the day, I also discovered that there was an issue deconstructing liquidity. Tell you what, let me back up a step here. So, LP staking, aka farming. What this is it allows a user that would like to earn extra MetaBUSD coin while they're holding their MetaBUSD coin. It allows them to take some of their MetaBUSD and some BNB and create liquidity. This liquidity rate is set by PancakeSwap. So it is whatever the price of the token is. So you have to create that equivalent pair. So $30 worth of MBC, $30 worth of BNB. You pair those two together, and you'll put it into a little software program called a constructor. What this does is it pairs your coins together and sends them to PancakeSwap. Once it's at PancakeSwap, it sits in the MBC liquidity pool. You have actually added stability to the price and increased the value of the token itself just simply doing that. That's what you've accomplished there. Because you have done that, you are rewarded by additional MetaBUSD coin on your farm. Dependent on how much liquidity you have provided compared to everybody else who is in that pool, you will receive more reward versus somebody else. The more participants that are in that pool, the reward itself overall continues to divide. Eventually, you reach a point to where the division is so minute that the rate of APR doesn't change that much. Right now, our APR rate's still really high. Not really, really high, but I think it's bouncing right below 300%. So there's a fair chance that that rate's going to drop quite a bit more as more people participate. But you should still expect a rate of like 150 for the yearly percentage rate. Anyways, so you're allowed to remove your liquidity at any time.
Hey, you went quiet again. Hey, I'm the captain again. Son of a bitch, he's back. The man is like lightning.
I should just leave. I'm just sorry, guys. One second. Let's bring up him. Oh, never mind. He already put his hand down. Never mind. I can't figure it out.
It says he has a question. I tried to add him.
I removed him. He'll have to ask again, and we can bring him back up. There we go. So
I'll let you
now,
do it. I think I broke it last time.
oh well, now he has to accept. Like on his screen, it'll say accept. Anyways, so you've added the pair into the constructor. The constructor sends that pair to PancakeSwap, and what PancakeSwap does whenever you add liquidity to anything is it gives you back what's called a liquidity pair token. They call it a cake token, LP cake. And specifically for ours, it's called LP cake MBC. So they give you back that token. You have that token in your wallet. You can then go to the farm and place that token into the farm. Once it's in the farm, it calculates what your BUSD reward for volume would be, what your reflection reward should be. It calculates that for you and still rewards you that, as well as it gives you your yield rate on the MBC. You can harvest that at any time. As well, you can also, by the way, when you harvest that, you have to pay the network gas fee to receive that back into your wallet. So don't go harvesting it when it's 50 cents. Wait till it's, worth a couple bucks and then harvest it. That being said, you can also remove your liquidity pair stake. So that LP stake that you put in, you can remove that at any time. And when you remove that, it's going to give you back the same thing that you put in, which was LP cake. Now that you have that cake, you still have to decouple it if you want to use it on anything. So if you want to sell it, make money on it, for instance. You got that LP cake in your wallet. What you would need to then do is go back to the constructor. And in the constructor, it will allow you to unpair. You just hit remove and confirm. Now, for my piece of information that I was originally going to share. Earlier today, I found a bug in the deconstructor part that wasn't allowing you to unpair. That's now been fixed. If anybody had gone and tried to unpair their liquidity earlier, it was not possible through the constructor. You could still do it from PancakeSwap directly, but when doing it through PancakeSwap, it charges you a tax fee. It charges you the fee of selling as if you had sold, so it charges you a 15%, or sorry, a 12% tax. That being said, when you do it through the constructor, it does not do that. The whole reason why that exists is because it's a program that allows us to whitelist that program, move a bunch of tokens around without a problem, and never get charged a tax. So that's why you have to do it through that program if you don't want to pay the tax fee. It's the easiest solution that we had available. But again, just for full disclosure to everybody, there was an issue unpairing earlier, but it has been fixed. And I found out about this issue through a community member who pointed it out to me because he could not unpair, but I was able to walk him through on how to go through PancakeSwap and unpair, and so we had it figured out. We were on Australia's time; they were asleep, so I did not have an answer from Brew Labs immediately. But as soon as they woke up, they jumped on it. They knew what the issue was immediately. They fixed it, and we're all good now. Now,
Bud, he just went quiet again. And he's
We
gone.
lost him again.
Hey, he's coming back.
all right.
There he is.
A question that's came up a couple times, specifically about the farming. People want to know what their risk is. Like how could this be a bad thing? It can't just be a good thing. Hey, you're completely right. Anything in life that looks like it's only good with no risk, you should second guess it. There is a little bit of risk involved with farming. The same way that you're risking with crypto in general, though. It's not much different. What we're talking about when we talk about impairment loss, I'm going to try to break this down as simply as possible to anybody who is here listening. I'm going to try to get this right. I am not by any means a financial advisor, and I'm not by any means an expert at everything. But I think I can explain this in a way that makes sense to everybody pretty clearly. All right, I'm going to give simple math here, so none of these numbers actually match up, but it'll make sense for conversation. Let's just say that today, 10 MBC tokens was valued at 1 BNB. So if I wanted to stake into the farm, I would take 10 MBC, 1 BNB, create an LP token, and put that token into the farm. Right? Now, I've got it farming, I've got it sitting there. Let's just say that 2 days from now, the price of MBC has dropped drastically. And now 15 MBC is what it takes to get 1 BNB. Well, my LP token that I have is not paired for 15 MBC, it's paired with 10 MBC. So whenever I go to pull out, I'm going to pull out and I'm only going to get 10 MBC and 1 BNB. Does that make sense to everybody? Now, that loss effect is not any different technically from what the loss effect would be by just holding on to your tokens per se. Other than it could be affected to a higher degree, one way or the other, either up or down, from the actual impact of the price of the token itself through PancakeSwap. But again, that's up or down. Like that's your gains are the exact same way as the losses. Again, it's just something that everybody needs to do their own little bit of research on, come to their own conclusions on what they want to do. LP farming is extremely beneficial LP staking farming is extremely beneficial to the project itself. Again, what it does for us as a whole is stabilizes the price. In time, if it becomes a feature that is loved, highly participated in, we can actually lower the tax on our buys and sells. We could actually lower the liquidity fee from the 3% that we have now all the way down to 1%, depending on the participation level. So it has a lot of added benefits. And if you're a long-term holder, without a doubt, it benefits you and me extremely well. You provide liquidity, you receive a large reward for providing that liquidity, and overall, we have a stronger diamond floor. And that floor is seen by investors. Whenever they look at the project, they'll see total locked value. And that always, the higher that number is, the more attractive the investment looks like. So it's something that we're definitely going to push and promote and continue to promote, but only after we educate and we make sure that everybody who is involved knows what they're doing, knows what's going on, and how to proceed. And again, I've got Maverick coming in for an AMA very soon, and after joining their Discord, I might even try to do like, hey, let's do one AMA over here and one AMA over there. Their Discord's a little bit smaller than ours. I think we could help grow it, and in general, just participate with those guys on every level that we can. They're an exciting team, and I know they'll be doing really good, big things in the future. And I want to make sure that we have like a seat at that table. So anything we can do to like help that community out, I'm going to try to do.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
Question for you.
Yeah.
On the constructor itself, the only reason I didn't make my pair was because I had a question on a little bulletin that pops up. And it says, to ensure tax-free liquidity on the constructor, whitelist the following address.
Right. I whitelisted it.
So I
that's
don't have to worry about that?
yeah, that's something you don't have to worry about. That's something that
Oh,
I actually don't know why they have that on their website as a pop-up because it's actually scared almost every single person that's done it. And I don't know, like it would always be done by the dev team. So
gotcha.
I don't know why that's there. I might actually bring that up to Maverick and just ask him why he's got that on there. Because it should be only the dev team that would ever be whitelisting that address. So
Okay.
again, it should just not be there. Don't
Okay.
worry about it. It's been whitelisted. Uh, sadly, like literally $2,000 worth of liquidity was deposited into the original staking pool, and all of that liquidity that people tossed in, it had not been whitelisted yet. So two people bought $2,000 worth of NBC and got taxed on all of it. And I feel bad about that, but I had not put out the announcement. These were just people who just aped in real quick, all on their own.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Well, that was pretty much it. That's what I was worried about and trying to figure out.
And the other, and I haven't mentioned this because I haven't felt the like need to, but in case anybody was wondering, there's no transaction fee for transferring tokens with MBC to begin with. So moving your tokens from like the pool back to your wallet, back to the pool and stuff like that, you'll never pay or you'll never get taxed any type of fee from MBC at all, other than the network fee, of course, the gas. And I will say this much, in case anybody's wondering, this happened to me twice now. For some reason, whenever you go to pull your liquidity back out, I got hit with like a $4 gas fee whenever I unpaired my liquidity from Pancake Swap. I'm pretty sure that's normal though, because you're actually covering a lot. You're covering like it moving from the pool to or moving from the constructor to Pancake Swap, from Pancake Swap into two transactions back to your wallet. You're paying all that gas at once. So if you get hit with like a $4 gas fee at the very end, just yeah, that's why and expect it. I wasn't expecting it the first time it happened to me. It's the reason why I'm bringing it up. And it happened to the other gentleman that I walked through on how to unpair it manually. And in case anybody's ever wondering, if there ever was a problem with the Brew Labs website or anything like that, let's just say worst case scenario, these guys shut down overnight. I own the staking contract. So no matter what, everybody's funds are safe and they're still in my hands. Brew Labs is the facilitator of the contract interaction, and they have like the constructor and they have the vaults and the security and stuff like that. But the contract itself, what you're interacting with, I own that. There's always an emergency withdrawal option, and there's also a way to manually uncouple your liquidity to get it back into your wallet. And it's very easy to do. It's just going through PancakeSwap directly yourself, going to the liquidity tab, pasting the address for MBC, and it'll show you what your liquidity that you actually own. And that's something you can always do, just like privately. If you've ever wanted to add liquidity and stuff like that to another project, you could always go to PancakeSwap, add liquidity, create your own liquidity, and start trading on it. Anyways, is there any other questions specifically to do with the farming? Awesome. All right. Well, we have put a couple of YouTube videos out today. We've posted two so far. We don't have any more dropping today. We are working with some of our partner influencers to get some coverage, specifically designed around the farming itself, just to put a small little update out there for like the existing community. As well as we've got some bigger, larger videos that are coming out on. We have got one on Sunday, and I'm trying to work out another one for Monday right now. Um, I just have to touch base with the guy, just kind of talk things over. Also, just trying to make sure that we're making the right decision per the market itself. Our marketing funds aren't endless. We have the project right now currently before. Well, all of our funds are in BNB, so all of it's less right now than it was a few hours ago. But we do have a good amount of funds available to the project still, but we want to make sure that we're spending them right and at the right time. So we will definitely be judging the market in general on what it's doing over the next couple days as we proceed with our marketing plans. That being said, we had already pulled the trigger on a couple good size items, so these things are already going to be rolling forward. We have already started to expand our banner ad placements. We're going to be doing some voting activity over the next couple days, as well as these videos dropping and possibly some Twitter stuff coming out as well. Again, all this stuff was already booked and paid for, so we're just going to be rolling with it, and we will just kind of adjust our marketing plans dependent on the actual market itself. If we have to kind of I don't want to say completely hold off, but if we want to take it slow over like the course of a week, depending on what things are looking like, and just kind of focus on getting our NFTs ready for drop, that might be something we definitely consider doing, just to make sure that whenever we do have our NFTs dropping, we're able to like really hit the ground running and put some really big media blast out there. Again, this isn't set in stone, just kind of talking it out loud, judging it on how the market looks itself. This is something that if you've been here from the beginning, then even before we launched, I talked about it heavily about how I knew what kind of market we were launching into. I knew that the bear market was right around the corner and that we were going to be seeing a significant drop overall in the crypto market. This happens frequently, guys. This is not my first rodeo. I've been involved in this crypto game for a while now. I've seen the ups and the downs, the gains and losses. And again, I knew that this would come. We've prepared for it. We've done really well, and we're going to ride this storm all the way out. Somebody asked earlier in chat, what's the chance of this project hitting like a ground zero at some point, running out of money? And
I swear, Chris's phone hates him.
Yeah, we lost him again.
I'm just gonna give up. I'm just gonna give up, guys. So when's the last thing you heard?
It was something about farming.
Dude, don't say
I'm
that.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Don't say that.
No, you're saying it wasn't your first rodeo.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, guys, long story short there, this is very much expected. We know how to take this, we know how to handle this situation, and I think we've done a fairly good job so far. We're going to go back to basics as far as like group organization, making sure that we're doing our shilling right, and making sure that morale is at the proper level. I think a lot of people have gotten worried and gotten scared with the general market downfall, but I haven't. Not at all. I know where we're going. I know what we're going to do and what we're going to accomplish. I've been confident about this since far before the launch, and I'm more confident about it now. Um, some of the partnerships that I've got going on and some of the projects that I'm working with behind the scenes, things are going to get really, really exciting here very soon. Um, a lot of eyes are going to be shifting towards us uh, soon, regardless of what products we're actually dropping. That being said, we will have products ready for them. And I don't just mean like our staking and our farming. As soon as we get our NFTs out, we're going to do a huge blast on that. We'll have the second line NFTs starting very, very shortly after that. And as well, of course, we're always pushing the bounds on development for VR. Sooner rather than later, we will be shifting our AMAs into VR. It's been a community request for a while now. I've expressed multiple times how I just haven't wanted to do it until I knew everything was ready and it looked right. I would hate to bring people into a space that does not reflect who we are as a brand image. Um, because I don't want them to get the wrong idea of what we're trying to accomplish long term. And what I mean by that is I could quickly tonight, right now, my headset's sitting 3 feet away from me. I could quickly pop that on and meet up with all of you right now in VR chat, and we could stream that right this second on this Discord and on Twitch and on YouTube. But if we're in a public space, it's going to look the same way that it does for anybody else who joins that space. I don't want that. I want our space, at the very least, even if we're using another platform to conduct business out of in the meantime, I want that space to look and feel like the space that we will be providing for you. So you already have an understanding, and the outside community already has a glimpse of what's to come, if that makes sense. Sorry, I'm gonna read through these real quick, make sure I'm not missing anything. Is anybody aware of any questions that came from the other communities?
There's actually a question in the AMA at 7:40 today.
Okay.
I think Mad Hatter had something too, but he is in the audience again.
I actually answered his question from TG.
Okay.
I can't remember what it was though, whether or not it would be worth going over. I think it was just about
The
staking.
wallet,
What was it about?
the VR wallet.
Oh, was it? So can somebody else read me the question in Discord? Because I can't get it to load.
You met Manny?
Trying to find the question.
Nobody is. I'll find it.
Uh,
Okay, yeah, well, that's a good question to just go over generally. I'm going to answer this one from TG real quick. I did answer it in the Telegram, but I'll just go over it here. Question from TG member Dominic was, is this project making sure it can deal with regulations, or is it just winging it until that day comes? And the truthful answer behind that, everybody, is it's a little bit of both. We're, we're preparing ourselves as best as we can, as best as any advice that has been given to us so far, and that is with the registering of the LLC and becoming a legal entity. That's definitely step one for the regulation process. Outside of that, I'm just not sure, and I don't think anybody else is exactly positive of what regulations might come. That being said, we're fairly certain of a few of them, and we've tried to stay away from those offerings. I don't want to necessarily elaborate on that right this second, just because I'm not sure how business plans will change in time. Because there's certain things that, definitely until we're told we're not allowed to do, we're definitely still going to be doing them. And what I mean by that, just so, because I like to stay as open and honest with everybody as possible, and just so you're aware of not just your position here, but your position and other projects that you might have as well. A good portion of the regulation that a lot of us insiders are looking at is more than likely, with the right regulations in place, you actually wouldn't be allowed to reflect in BUSD. Comparatively speaking to other services that are available, it doesn't necessarily fit into the financial regulatory environment. You would need to allow for securities licensing in order for you to actually give a dividend payer or dividend trade. And currently, of course, we are not set up for that. Yeah, but nobody else is either. So if that's something that comes down the pipeline, that is definitely something that's going to affect every project that's in existence right now in the BSC network. And I don't mean just rewarding in BUSD. You actually wouldn't be able to reflect the tokens at all. That's more than likely, if regulations came down quickly for some reason, that's one of the ones that you would more than likely see come from that regulatory environment. Again, I do not believe that this is something that's going to happen anytime soon. The way I answered it in the Telegram was that I would suggest that something like that won't be happening for, somewhere around 2 years, is what I would guess. That being said, again, we have on our roadmap more robust legal onboarding, but we already have a legal team. We already pay for legal advice. And as well, we have financial planners and advisors on the team as well. So we're trying to take these steps as seriously as we can. And again, that's why we filed for our LLC. We've created a legal entity, that as well as dealing with exchanges and other partner projects, just having those contracts in place to protect ourselves and our investors, or our holders. Sorry. That being said, again, regulations I'm sure will come one day, and they will impact us as well as every other existing product or project that's out there now. Our plans and our intentions are to have everything in place along the road, that when that time comes, we will be able to deal with it in a more robust level. Again, I think we've taken steps further than a lot of other projects to protect ourselves now and to allow for those changes to take place. But there will be more that we'll be doing as we progress down the road. For 1 month, I think we've done a fantastic job as far as getting our products offerings out and improving the overall project, becoming more legit and more in line with things that we do see as possibilities down the road. I can't actually find the second question either. He said there was one. Oh, well, okay, so that was the question at 7:40. Okay, cool. Is there any other questions from anybody?
No, I'm good on my
Chris,
side.
I'll take one more real quick one. I think you answered it. I just can't remember the answer.
That's fine.
The tokens that I stake for that are MetaBUSD, since those are technically paired up and providing liquidity, am I getting rewards in BUSD for those? No,
Yes,
right?
you are.
Oh, okay. They still count as being in my wallet then,
Correct.
essentially.
Now, the way that it'll work though, is they won't show up in your wallet. It'll actually show up on the Brew Labs harvesting field. And like for instance, we'll have that same front end on our website sometime next week. Sometimes next week I'll update our website so you can just go there instead of having to go to brewlabs.com. But so anyways, you'll go to your little widget that says like NBC, BNB shows your farm. On that farm, there's going to be 3 lines listed. One's going to say MBC earned, and that's the MBC that you have earned from the actual staking itself. The next line down is going to say BUSD reflected. I think that's what it says at least. But that is the BUSD that you've earned from volume on your MBC that is paired in the liquidity pool. You are able to then harvest those two things together at any point in time once it's enough to cover the gas fee, of course. Or you can always manually pay the gas as well. But yes, that's how that happens. Now, again, I would like to say some magic is taking place there because as somebody who commonly reviews and writes in Solidity, I am not 100% sure how they're doing that. I'm interested in finding out, and again, once I actually have the contract in my possession, I'll be doing some reading to try to figure it out. I don't even know if that will tell me. I've got a feeling they might have like a third solution to providing that. But either way, it is true and it is real. That is how it works and that is how it happens. You're able to farm your tokens, pair them into liquidity, and you still receive your BUSD volume reward from that. You can harvest that from the Brew Labs team page, and that will, whenever you harvest it, it sends it directly to your wallet. I have not personally experimented with this feature, but I do know as well. I'm going to guess. I'll try here in a minute after I get done with this AMA. Uh, you're able to roll your stuff over. So I don't know if like you hit harvest and then it gives you an option to compound it there, or if maybe you have to hit compound somewhere else. But I do know that if you don't want to actually pull that stuff out and put it into your wallet, you are able to just compound it back into the pool itself. Um, and here soon they'll actually have an automated feature for that as well. So technically, you could just like repair the BUSD as BNB, pair those together, and put it into liquidity, and just continue to grow your proportion of the pool or your portion of the pool. I'm sorry, I feel like I always make things more complicated the more I talk. Anyways, is there any other questions? And again, I'm not the expert on this stuff. I've never claimed to be. There's a lot. There's the space in crypto is so vast, and there's just a lot of information on everything. I actually know quite a bit more about staking itself than I do farming. I had to learn a lot in the last couple days about this. I've got a pretty firm understanding on it now, I believe. But having Maverick in here talking with everybody and having him uh, give some answers, I think will be really beneficial. So I'm definitely going to get that going. Again, they're like on Australian time, and I think today is his, like, he's already on Saturday. So he told me he was busy Saturday, but he's free on Sunday, which is my Saturday. So more than likely, maybe tomorrow evening, I'll try to get an AMA going with him. If I can't nail that down for then we'll probably do Monday his time, Sunday my time. And that'll definitely work for sure by then. Worst case scenario, Brew Labs AMA will be Sunday my time. And we have another meeting that day as well, with their development team working on some front end stuff, some really cool front end ideas that we've got. Anyways, is there any other questions that anyone has? Alrighty, guys. Well, I really appreciate you spending some time with me. I hope I was able to provide some information for you guys on the farms and how that function works. Again, I'll try to provide some link information. There's a really good facts section on the Brew Labs website itself that kind of dives into a little bit of it. Some of the stuff that they reference it as Brew Labs token. Just imagine that was MBC token. It works the exact same way. That being said, I will try to compile some more information from you guys between now and actually getting to sit down with Maverick and go over everything, just so everybody has a little bit more reference material to read from. That being said, definitely do your own research on this stuff. Again, I am not an expert on farming or staking. There's a reason why we partnered with a professional expert team to handle this and take care of this for us quickly, facilitated in a secure manner. These guys know what they're doing. They're really good at it, and they will provide more information and help to us as needed. That being said, I think it was the right step to take, especially with the market doing exactly what it's doing right now and performing the way it was. That's one of the reasons why we kind of rushed this and pushed this forward. I do want to promote this, and I do want people to jump in, and I do want our liquidity to stabilize, and it will be beneficial to the project overall. I just want to make sure that anybody who is jumping in and making this decision is making it informed, secure, and safely. I want you to feel good about your investment and where it's at. And one of the best and easiest ways to do that is just to educate yourself, not only on farming and what that process looks like, continue to educate yourself on our project itself, MetaBUSDCoin, the direction that we're going, how long it's going to take, what steps that we are taking to get there. We've tried to be very transparent and very clear about our process and about how we're making these movements and how long it'll take. Um, that being said, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them openly in the main chat. We discuss these things amongst everybody. Right now, our staking is currently going to be delayed until I get the tokens for the actual liquidity. I'm sourcing those in a couple different manners. Our farming is far ahead of schedule. Um, Again, and our staking was not scheduled to be out until after our NFT drop. That being said, I felt the need to go ahead and get that process rolling as quickly as possible. And again, I've said this before, once I met Maverick, I liked the guy. Um, he's just extremely professional. He's got great ideas, and their project's going in a great direction. So it just seemed like a really good fit and a really good time. We mashed all that together and we pushed it through real quick. I'm glad we did it. That being said, I'm now going to be switching back gears into our NFTs to push those through to the finish line, make sure that we get those out.
Hey, Cap.
Yeah.
Yo, okay. Kind of off topic, but on topic. Did you see today that Twitter said something about using NFTs as your profile pic?
I didn't. What did they say? Are you not allowed to anymore?
No, that they're going to like that you can actually import it. If I'm reading this correctly, and then again I'm dumb. Apparently, Twitter is gonna be able. You're gonna be able to use your NFT as your profile picture. So
Oh,
Twitter,
like that. So it'll be verified, you mean? Like you'll actually be able to connect your wallet Web3 and use your actual NFT?
I think so. I mean, something is. Um, but yeah, that's big because that brings NFTs into a more mainstream market.
Yeah, I haven't done it yet, but I was looking at it yesterday or the day before. Like whenever our NFTs do drop, there is a way to verify the NFT through like the Discord server to make sure that like if somebody's using it as their PFP to make sure that it is a true NFT. At least if it's on your chain. Like if I could have a verifier for all MBC NFTs, and if somebody's using one as their PFP, you would know whether or not it's real.
That's
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
you hit it right on the nail. It's basically a verification. So they have this feature where you can actually connect your wallet and it'll go like do a verification like that. So it's pretty dope.
That is pretty dope. And like I think that's another good point to how how quickly this is getting adapted by everybody. And it's not just like, your tech companies like your Twitters, your Facebooks, your Googles and all that. Actual real world brands are breaking into this market very quickly. I swear to God, I think I saw Walmart is selling NFTs now. I don't know this for
No,
sure. I
no,
need to like
no.
reference this, but I
I
swear.
I I I don't want to live in this world right now. If that's the case, I don't need great value, fucking great ape. Fucking great value. Like yacht ape NFTs. Okay, I don't need that in my
Absolutely.
right now.
I'm
They
assuming
have NFTs also. I don't know the boxer's name, but if you buy the NFT and you hold it, you get to sit ringside watching the boxing game and then take pictures with him before he fights. Like they're changing the NFT game.
yeah.
It's coming.
So if you
As
were
long as you
here,
don't have to fight the boxer, if you buy the NFT, I'm good with that.
if you were here yesterday and like the yesterday's anime, we were talking of flus and what they're introducing on their NFTs. He didn't dive into it correctly, so it wasn't very clear. But they were calling it super keys, and what that is that's a network that is paired with NFT providers. So you add the metadata to the NFTs, and a portion of the NFT like transaction pays into this network. But having that NFT in that network means that if you're going to a nightclub that participates in the Super Keys like venue ship partnership program, then you're able to get VIP access into that nightclub or like a bar, or you're able to get a special table at, so on and so forth. So it's just another cool way of introducing a little bit of utility. I'm sure everybody knows like the Kings of Leon, they sold that one album NFT only. If you bought it though,
Nas did one just yesterday, I think.
Yeah, Big Mill is he's up next. He
Bilge.
confirmed that his next album is gonna be an NFT.
And I
I'll
think
buy it in a heartbeat.
yeah, Metalorian just said that Walmart filed for a bunch of blockchain patents, so that'll be interesting to see. My God, was I right about great value Yacht Ape NFTs?
Well, I think I talked about it like a little while back. I think everybody is going to see here in the next like 2 years, the big new wave is going to be private blockchains. So like IBM, Walmart, Target, all these places are going to be stealing the ideas off of all these other blockchains because it's all great ideas. It all really is, but they all see it as a cost. Hey, there's a cost to run on this network. Are we going to pay this cost to this?
Did we lose him again? Did we lose him, or did I phase out?
No, you're good. You're good. He went quiet.
You know what? You know what's crazy now that I think about it?
What's that?
Especially you look at it in from what we're trying to build. If the VR wallet, when the VR wallet gets released, right, and Walmart actually has that, you can connect your wallet to look at products within Walmart and inspect them. And that's fucking crazy.
Oh yeah.
No, like just think about it for a second. Imagine like you could use your VR your VR technology or an AR, more importantly, like more specifically AR, and look at a product from every angle before you buy it. That's fucking crazy. All right, sorry. I'll let Cap speak. I'm drifting off.
You're good. Chris, you there? Well, you left and came back, but now you're not saying anything again.
There's also the whole thing that was mentioned as well before that if I wonder what kind of blockchains Walmart is actually trying to patent.
They're
That I
so
don't.
big, I won't be surprised they come out with their own.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
yeah.
I would believe that. Yeah,
Right.
I mean they definitely have the money for it.
You know what? I'm gonna say this now. Someone go grab the site Great Value Blockchain and hold it ransom on Walmart.
No doubt. Buy up all the Walmart kind of blockchain URLs.
Right?
Just buy them all.